I'm Cindie Leitman, and I'm here to welcome you to the Center of Spiritual Living Tacoma, for all of you people in the room and all of you people online. So I want to start out, before I talk about today's program, with talking about this little card that's in your seat back. It's called Who We Are and What We Believe. And I'm going to read it to you, but I want to tell you the history of it first. Many years ago, maybe 7 years ago, we decided here that we needed to find a way to talk about who we are and what we do in 30 seconds. So we came up with what we call the elevator speech. And this is the elevator speech. So I want to read it. The Center for Spiritual Living is a peaceful, loving, and joyful spiritual community with a shared set of values, principles, and practices. At the core of our belief is the existence of a single source, which we call God, or Spirit. This Spirit inspires, guides, supports, and nurtures our individual awakening and our day-to-day reality. This loving consciousness desires only the highest and greatest good for creation. We embody an understanding of our oneness with Source. We are committed to the individual transformation and to being a beneficial presence on the planet. That is who we are and what we believe. Now, today, our musicians today are Terry O'Hara on piano, Benny Yangco on clarinet. John is not here. But if he were here, it's John Hargis on percussion. Our special guest musician is Stephan Plummer, right here. Our audio-visual team up there is Erik, Perrohe, and Ronald. Say hi to them. Hi. Okay, our practitioners today are Doug Taylor on platform, but he's right there, and Bev Holland holding high watch or consciousness in the back. So in the month of November, we are pursuing the way home in our Sunday messages. Today's message will be given by Rev.Drew Ebersole, our staff minister. Rev.Drew has served as staff minister at CSL Tacoma for 11 years. He has followed a path of ministry at CSL and in hospitals and businesses in the region and across the country for many years. For those of you who haven't heard him speak, you're in for a treat today. This summer, he also began leading our Thursday night meditation, which is here at CSL Tacoma from 7 to 8:15 Thursday night.
Welcome home, friends. Mi casa es su casa, si hablan español para ustedes allá. And please, as mystic poet Shalane Harkin invites us in her poem, Leave your shoes and your old concepts of God at the door. Hang your heavy identities on the coat rack. You simply don't need those things in here. It's much too warm in this house for all the facade you've been bundling up in. If you come with pain, let's use it to light a fire in this old hearth. Sharing this flame puts it in its rightful place, where our humanity can gather around it together and sing. Leave your shoes and your old concepts of God at the door. And let's see what wonders emerge when we let our souls and our feet free to finally begin to dance. Welcome home, beloveds. You are home. So please come inside and leave the busyness and all the things to do outside. Come into this sacred space where your individualized expression of spirit and divine indwelling is recognized, honored, and celebrated. Come into this safe, caring, loving sanctuary. You are home. This is a relaxed, tranquil place where universal good speaks to you and through you. And calm, serene confidence envelops and soothes you. Come home to yourself today, right here, right now. So settle yourself in to your most comfortable position and allow your eyes to close if you choose, or maybe a soft gaze out in front of me or in front of you. And join with me as we practice some relaxation with 4 square breathing. Breathe in to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now release to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And pause to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, breathe in to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And release to the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And allowing this deepening of this breath, become more and more relaxed and sense the sinking of your shoulders and the letting go of any tension. Let your body relax deeper and deeper with each breath. And as you become aware of any distractions that may arise in your body, your emotions, your thoughts, just return your attention to your breath and breathe, deeply knowing that each inspiration is your personal, individualized connection with spirit. Just imagine each distraction as a cloud easily floating by in an open, infinite, clear blue sky. Just be here with your breath, with your breathing, allowing the natural, soothing rhythm to continue to deepen your calm and relaxation, connecting you more and more with the indwelling divine, your true home. allow yourself to savor and rest in this connection with your soul and the truth of who you are as an expression of God, of good, of love. Everything is whole, vibrant, and alive here in your oneness. You are home. Coming home to your true self, to spirit, at home within yourself, reminds you of who you really are as a manifestation of good, as one with God. And knowing that I and you and we are individually and collectively united with universal source, love, abundance, intelligence, and goodness, I declare and know that today I and each one of you will know and experience true home. That the message of Rev.Drew and the music and all of our CSL support helps to co-create this sacred space for spirit to show up, your true home. So I offer my deep, heartfelt thanks and gratitude for my and each one of us experiencing sacred space and spiritual home today. And as I release my word unto the law of creation, knowing that it is done, and that I and each one of us will receive the blessings of home today, together we say, and so it is. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. All right, so the words are in your program for the chorus. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. We are opening, we are opening, we are opening, we are opening. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the one. I am opening, I am opening, I am opening, I am opening.
I get another chance to talk to you. With the reading today from Hamilton Wright Mountain, nothing is lost upon a person who is bent upon growth. Nothing wasted on one who is always prepared for life by keeping eyes, mind, and heart open to experience. And what they gather serves them at unexpected moments in unforeseen ways. With acceptance, compassion, and unconditional love, when we do this, we become this. And this is how we make a world and a home that works for everyone.
How many times must I have a miracle? For I trust in you. So many times I have seen your wonders, but still I'm doubting you. How many times must I keep on floundering while trying to make it through? And when will I learn that when things aren't working, I just turn it over to you? I've seen rivers that flow and the stars all aglow and the beauty of the sea. I've known healings and peace of mind, joy after troubled times. Still I'm doubting thee. In the quiet of eventide, I feel your strength inside, guiding me in all that I do. Oh, how many times must I have a miracle to totally trust in you? And you totally trust in you. How many times must I have a miracle to totally trust in you? So many times I have been in darkness, the sun has come shining through. How many times will it take to acknowledge the wondrous things you do? And when will I learn that when things aren't working, it's just that I'm doubting you? I've seen blossoms of spring and a bird on a wing, and have watched the clouds roll by. I've seen rainbows that end the storm, peace after I've been torn. Still I've questioned why, but I know deep within my heart I have the strength to start letting you guide me through. Oh, how many times must I totally, totally trust in you. Bravo. Oh, wow. Right? God bumps, as they call them. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Stephan. One more time for that. It was just beautiful. To Terry and to all our musicians and to everyone here. So good morning. How are you? Everybody take a deep breath together. We're here. Arrive. There's nowhere else to be than right here, right now. This is what's calling to us in this moment. And I'm privileged to be here to be able to talk to you today about opening our eyes, opening our minds, and opening our hearts so that we can be that love which we are conduits for from the Spirit is a manifestation in this earth. I mean, that's the whole point, really, right? To not shrink back, but to lean forward, to be present, to be alive. This life is a gift, this precious human birth. And all we have to do is just show up and be that conduit for love. So open eyes, open mind, open heart allows us to be the best we can be. So I'm going to talk about today about what that looks like, why that's important, and how we can all do it. Because it's the practicing of these things that make them real in our lives every single day. So what does open eyes really mean? Well, our eyes are pretty open. I can see. But I want you to take notice right now of the actual sensation of seeing. And notice how it shifts maybe a little bit. That you were just looking before, but now you're aware of the gift of seeing. When you bring awareness to whatever you're doing, what you're doing is enhancing it, accentuating it. You're giving it birth in that moment, anew, to see with fresh eyes. Why is that so important? Because our eyes, in this case, or if you're not able to see, your ears or your senses in that way of perceiving, we just have eyes right now in front of us. And to you at home, open your eyes. They allow us to perceive what's really happening. When we're not caught in delusion or self-fear or loathing, all those are veils over our eyes. Take a deep breath again. We're going to lift the veil. I want to tell you a little story. I was driving to a meeting one morning early, 6 a.m. in the wintertime, dark, cold, rainy. And I was a little bit late, and I'm hurried along. My mind's racing, and I'm thinking about all this other stuff, and my eyes are slightly veiled. And I'm coming up on a crosswalk, and there's two people there. And at first I'm thinking, I want to get across someone, should I wait? You have that moment where you're like, are they going to cross? And so I'm coming up on this crosswalk, and I'm kind of not really seeing. And I had the fortitude to look again, to see. And what I saw was a father and son, early in the morning. And I allowed myself to see that and recognize it. And what it did was it caused me to stop. I went, father and a son. And then I kept my eyes open to watch what was happening. It was this father and son crossing the street. And I suddenly saw what was happening. It was a father and a son. The son was helping the father was blind. And you could see as the father was going across, the son was helping him, young boy, maybe just 10. And he looked over at me as he crossed in front of my car, and he went, "Thank you." And he kept walking, and I was dumbstruck. And so humbly grateful that I took time to see what was happening. Because if I'd raced by in my hurried little state, not only would I probably have cut them off and not been able to cross, but I would have missed a slight miracle. How many times
must I see a miracle. How miraculous, how tender, how kind, how gracious. That infused some sense of love and purpose into me. The gift was mine. I should have said, thank you, right back, if it could have seen through my rainy windshield. So when we have open eyes, we have to think of how many times do we look at that mundane thing that we think we've seen over and over again, and we see it anew. We see it fresh. And that's what Buddha talks about, and that's what Ernest Holmes talks about, is having that open perspective to perceive what's in front of you. Beginner's mind, they call it. And I want to tell you right now, beginner's mind is not naive or foolish. It's actually incredibly sophisticated, incredibly evolved. Because when I have that open eyes, I'm perceiving things that I used to take in cynicism. And cynicism equals death. It equals rigidity. It equals a sense of evolution or openness. And the openness that we have with our eyes allows us to perceive that thing anew. And how fun that is. This morning, just seeing and feeling that, the practitioners pray in the minister, which is a system of prayer here for those of you who are new, that we think of prayer as not a pleading thing where you are just a lowly recipient, but you are actually a co-creator, and you are able to use your words to actually manifest those things into your life. And it's a lovely thing. And when I'm back there, I had these 4 practitioners here that are just incredible, and they prayed me in. And I saw it. I was like, I'm going to be aware of this. And I looked around, and I saw 4 human beings full of love. And because I could see it, I could feel it. So think in your life. How many things do you take for granted that you don't see with fresh eyes? And so what's the next part? Open mind. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Opening our mind requires us to let go of rigid and non-beneficial beliefs, habits. We're all creatures of habit. In fact, I'd like you to do something for me right now. Take your hands like this and clasp them together, okay? And then looking down, who has their right thumb on top? You can do this at home too. Can you raise your hand? Who's a right thumber? Let me see all the right thumbs. Okay, who's a left thumber? Ah, okay. You know what this tells you about yourself? Absolutely nothing. But what it does say, actually it does say a little something, is that you did this for the first time. Maybe you were a baby, maybe you were in the womb even. And guess what? It became your habit. Take every finger now and do it the opposite way and put the opposite thumb on top. He's struggling over here. I saw Benny, he's like, and I've seen that. People are like, I had one nurse in a group that looked at me and she did it. She's like, it's like someone else's hands. She got furious at me. I got scared a little bit. Nurses can be pretty tough. They're okay. The reason is because probably, unless you've done this with me before, some of you have, and probably until now, you've never done it the other way in your entire life. Can you believe that? You've only probably crossed your hands one way over and over again. That's habit. And that can hold us back. That's where an open mind allows us to let go of habit of thought. And often that habit is around judgment. It's around some sort of implicit bias, the way we think things are. Brene Brown's a great researcher in Houston, and guess what she says? 90%, and this is clocked through her research, 90% of our assumptions about things are wrong. 90%. And how many times do we act on assumption? I act on assumption a lot. And that is so non-beneficial because it's incorrect. So I'm like reading a fictional novel about my life and believing it. And it's incorrect. Take a deep breath again. What habits of mind that are non-beneficial, that are judgmental, that are critical of not just others, but most importantly, of yourself? What ways do I judge or think critically about myself? Because as we'll talk about the why, there's not a real difference between how I treat me and how I treat others. It's the same. Oops, are we okay with the mic? Is it good? Maybe it's a little high. The volume down a little bit. How's that? Can you still hear me? So thinking about that concept of this open mind, what I am willing to perceive and see, and then how I'm willing to think about it, how I'm willing to release a judgment and think anew, how I'm willing to change a pattern of thought. Because although the hands is true, it's exactly the same with our minds. How many patterns or thoughts do we use that are non-beneficial, right? Take a deep breath. We're going to do that a lot. Why? Because that grounds us in the moment and allows us to see what's really going on. I mentioned Brené Brown, but it also talked about the benefits of empathy when we have that open mind. Empathy is an antithesis to judgment. Did you know that? Judgment is the opposite of empathy and compassion. That empathy that we give to others allows us to connect and build a bridge. And it's powerful. When I listen to someone, and rather than coming up with a story about what I think or thinking about something else, I'm just going to listen to them. I'm going to offer thoughts to them in these ways. That sounds hard. I bet that's tough. Tell me more. Not how can I fix it? Not I'm sorry, that's sympathy. That's often a disconnector. Now you do say I'm sorry sometimes if someone loses a loved one. I'm really sorry for that. But empathy follows hot on its heels. That's a powerful tool. Empathy. Wow, that must have been hard. I know when I had my brain tumor and my face was kind of looked like it was melting off the side for a while, and it was a little bit embarrassing. I remember when people would say to me, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." I felt like a little dog they were patting on the head, right? But when they said to me, "Wow, that must be tough," I said, "It is tough," and boom, we connected. That connection is what this is all about too. Think of the little boy and the father going across. I connected with them. Think of the judgments we have for others, they disconnect. The empathy allows us to connect, right? So open eyes, open mind, and open heart. What does open heart look like? Well, open heart is really just a way of saying I can act from that place. I see, seeing, I think, and then from my heart, I act. See, this is what we're here to do. We're here to live this out. This is what Spirit is asking us to do, incarnate, is to be eyes, mind, and heart for one love, for one universe. So what does heart look like? Well, I'll tell you kind of how these three wrap together for me. And I saw it clearly, and I was able to employ it beautifully. I was at a meeting in the Starbucks one day, and we were just sitting there talking about our business. I was with another business partner, and we were just kind of chatting about things. And as I looked around, I opened my eyes, and I saw this young teenager girl kind of come in, and she went and sat over at a corner table. And as soon as she sat at the table, she didn't have a coffee or anything. She just put her hood up on her head and put her head down on the table. Now, I just watched this a little bit, and she didn't raise her head for 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. She kept her head on that table. Open mind. I said, okay, what can I do? How can I help? What can I do to serve this a little bit? We're in this busy Starbucks. I don't know what's really going on. Open heart. I had with me a little stone that said some word on it like mindful, and a little card that you open up, little pop-up cards with little messages in them. Have you seen those? And this one said, "You're amazing." And so, without any fanfare or doing anything, I just got up on my way out, and I quietly walked up to her table, and he placed the stone and the card right in front of her, and I said a little blessing of love, and I walked out. Now, who knows what happened that day? Might she have seen it and thrown it away? Possible. Might she have seen it and thought someone cares about me? It might have been a turning point in your life. Also possible. I can't control the outcome. What I control is my action of heart in that moment. Simple, easy, didn't have to do too much. Just thinking possible. What's possible? Take a deep breath again. How many times throughout your day do you have an opportunity to act in ways that are easy and fluid, to hold a door, to offer a kind word, to compliment, to care? Open heart. And once we are free from judgment, it's easy to be an open heart. You can actually live into this. And the benefits from these are astronomically good for us. Study upon study talks about not just the health benefits, but the mental benefits, staving off all kinds of elderly diseases and all kinds of physical diseases, and coming into a world of connection and a world that works for everyone. This is how we do it, is we stay open, we stay aware, we stay present. We are a conduit for love. Can you feel when you're aligned with love? Can you feel it when you're there in a moment and you can sense love coming down through you? And all you have to do is get out of the way. All you have to do is just be present and pay attention to the miracles and the opportunities that come up all around you. And all you have to do is think, okay, I'm going to let go of these fear-based thoughts that I've had since childhood about I'm not good enough and I can't do this, and I'm going to release that. And then we act out of that place of pure kindness and grace, because that's power. Guys, that's our power. That's where we are muscular. We are strong right there. We can do anything. It's all possible. So right now, I just want you to take a second and look around this room and greet those around you. We're just going to do this for 1 minute with open mind, open eyes, open heart, and say good morning. That's it. Just take a second. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I see you. I see you. Awesome, awesome.
What happened? How do you feel better? You had the acidosis thing.
Yeah, it just goes away.
Yeah, good.
All right, let's come back. Let's come back. Young man, how are you, young man?
Enjoying this. I'm enjoying this.
All right, let's come back. Let's come back. Let's come back. Now, everyone. Oh, well, it's hard to, when you talk, you gotta, come on back, come on back, come on back. That's good. Come on back. Sybil, come on back. Good. All right. That's so wonderful. Everybody take a deep breath again. How do you feel from that? Why? Because that's connecting to source. That's what that is. See how simple that is? I see you. I can let go of any kind of judgments or fears or anxieties I have in this moment, and I can act out of love with you. Boom. Drop the mic right there. But that's real. That's real. On a spiritual, scientific level, that's real. What you've just done is done an enormous shift in your brain and body. You've aligned with God, as we say, in the spiritual realm, but you've aligned with your purpose and intention, and your brain and body are in alignment right there, and you have maximum health benefits and outcomes, and you have maximum impact in your actions. When that intention's aligned with what you know is the intention for us all, you become amazing. Just like that. Pretty cool, huh? That's pretty cool stuff. So, we're We're going to take a look at a video here that is a way of, and if we can turn the lights off for the video in the back, does someone know how to do that? I can probably do it. I'll run back and do it, or maybe, oh, there it is. Look at that. Ask and you shall receive, right? All right. This video is actually a commercial. It was in Thailand for insurance, of all things, but it was so beautiful as a demonstration of exactly what we're talking about. I thought we'd take a look at it today. It has some titles, some subtitles, and Erik, if we can let it roll, great.
เขาจะได้อะไรถ้าเขาทำแบบนี้ทุกวันเขาจะไม่ได้อะไรเลยไม่ได้รวยขึ้นไม่ได้ออกทีวีไม่มีใครรู้จักไม่ได้มีชื่อเสียงที่มากขึ้นเพราะสิ่งที่เขาได้คือได้แค่ความรู้สึกได้เห็นความสุขได้เข้าใจได้ความรักได้ในสิ่งที่เงินซื้อไม่ได้ได้โลกที่สวยงามกว่าเดิมในชีวิตคุณอะไรคือสิ่งที่คุณต้องการมากที่สุด
ไทยประกันชีวิตเชื่อในความดี
Now, take a deep breath again. What did you witness there? Simple, clean acts. You may do some big stuff in your life. You may change the legislation, as my cousin Brian did, and help our world be better. Or you may do small things every day that amount to enormous, enormous change. Mother Teresa said we do no large things. We do small things out of great love. That's our power. Right. And look at the difference. And I love there was a simple, subtle moment there where the old man who had the glasses on that looked cynically before it, and he took the glasses off and he was like, wow, he saw. And the minds that were changed by the people that he helped, the woman that was grumpy with the cart became generous and kind, right? And the heart of action for him of the sweet old lady that hugged him and felt connection. That's how we change the world. You understand? Now, before we wrap this up, I also want to say there's another point to this about the giving is great, but also the receiving is the other side of the same coin. And I remember sitting in the hospital, and my friends were all around me, and I was recovering, and I couldn't walk, and I couldn't talk, and I couldn't swallow, and I was draped with some cloth across me, and I felt awful. And I said, I have no dignity. And my friend said, you know what? You have human dignity. And I said, I want to thank you all for helping me. And they said, no, Drew, we want to thank you for letting us help you because it gives us purpose. So think of, you do want to give help, but be willing to be open and courageous enough, because it's often a more courageous act to receive help. So as we're doing this open eyes, open mind, open heart throughout our day, think of breathing in and receiving and breathing out and giving. Just like blood in the heart and blood out of the heart. It's a natural flow of everything. So as we go about our lives and our days, take a deep breath again and remember your true power. Remember our true purpose. Remember, it's truly how we bring about peace in a world that works for everyone. And that is what makes us divine beings of love. Bless you.
Everybody take a deep breath. Thank you, Drew. I remember that. It was so interesting, you know, when I did this, it felt, you know, I mean, it was totally 100% predictable. And then when I did this, it felt like my shoe, and it's weird because these are my hands, but suddenly my feet, my shoes were on the wrong feet. I was like, wait, this is my hands. Like, no, it's your feet. And I was like, but it felt, but I felt more open. It's like, wow, this is magical. This is a big deal to me. Is it a big deal to you too? That, you know what I mean? Like, wow, right? Ambidextrous. Ambidextrous, I love it. And then the sirens went in agreement. Bring it on, everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. I think I finally learned, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through dreaming, oh, that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. And I think it's time, sing it with me, bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready, yes I am, yes I am, yes I am, yes I am. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. And I survived many times before.
Well, are we rocking and sock'em yet? Okay. So it's time for our offering. Our ushers have come forward. So please join me in saying our offering blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, and so it is.
Thank you. So just take a moment and just sit with that feeling. Just savor, enjoy that moment. Home, H-O-M-E. Healing opportunities manifesting everywhere. Just breathe that in. And as Thich Nhat Hanh says, peace in oneself, peace in the world. So I invite you to close your eyes if you so choose, or gaze out in front of you with a soft gaze. And again, take in that deep breath, just feeling yourself in this place of spirit, this place that we have co-created together, this home, this sanctuary, this place where we can open our eyes, open our mind, and open our heart to the goodness within and to the goodness all around us. And knowing that there is one universal mind, spirit, goodness, source, and that each and every one of us is a part of that, and that it moves through me and it moves through you. This is that refuge, that place called home inside of you, always present. And knowing this is true, I can declare that today's message from Rev.Drew that resonated in my heart, resonated in that place called home, will go with me throughout the day and the rest of the week. And I know that you too will carry this resonance of goodness, of love, of well-being, of home with you for the rest of your day today and throughout the week. And thanks to this wonderful music that continues to reverberate within our hearts and our minds, that everything is new when we open our eyes and our minds and our hearts to spirit. And knowing that today has been the place for you to be here and now, we can give thanks for this home. And we can be grateful to feel that activated sense of spirit within us, knowing that it is true and always available. So with this, I can say thank you, thank you, thank you, God, Spirit, universal intelligence, abundance, goodness, whatever name you want to give it. It's that life force that animates each and every one of us. And giving this thanks, I can release my word unto the law of creation, knowing that it's good. And together we can say, and so it is.
Aren't you glad you came here today? Isn't it wonderful? I just love it here. So I want to talk about the announcements. So our first announcement is just to remind you that we have the CSL Tacoma practitioners, or spiritual coaches as they are called, and they are ready and willing to help you navigate solutions to change and transitions with their affirmative prayers. And they've received 4 years of training before becoming certified. And their primary role is to pray with us, individually and collectively. Join them in the prayer room back there after service for a brief prayer circle. You can also contact a practitioner individually. You'll find their information back at the table back there and also on our website. Thanksgiving is coming up, and for those of you who would like to join us here at CSL, Thanksgiving Day, November 24th, I think it's 12 to 2, is that right? Yes. 12 to 2, right here at the center. We will provide the turkey, but we need everybody else to bring a side dish. And just so we don't wind up with 12 pumpkin pies and no vegetables, we would like you to board members, would you just please identify yourselves? Thank you. Look around and see where a board member is, and please tell a board member what you're going to be bringing, okay? That way, we'll be able to figure it all out. We also have an invitation to join the Interfaith Gathering that happens every year. It's absolutely wonderful. Many, many years ago, we had the choir sing at the Interfaith, and it was just spectacular. And it's a gathering of Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Baha'i, Buddhist, Catholic, us, CSL, Jewish, Muslim, Native American, Protestant, Sikh, Sufi, Unitarian Universalist, among others. I can't possibly think of what the others are because I just said all this. So the theme is weaving our ways, and Mona, our lead practitioner, will be leading the meditation for this event. So everyone is invited to attend, and after the program, there will be fellowship and there will be a reception. So please come and spread our light with them. Tuesday, November 22, 7 to 8:30 p.m. at the Mason United Methodist Church in Tacoma. We'd also like to remind you that we are looking for volunteers who would like to do service here. This includes hospitality, usher-greeter, facilities, marketing and outreach, birthdays, compassionate care. There are sign-up sheets in the back. Are there? Yes, over there, sign-up sheets in the back. Get involved. This place takes on so much more meaning and so much more joy if you get involved. Get involved. It's just wonderful. Now, this is my favorite part of the day because it's very special. Does anybody have a birthday this day or this week? Please stand if you have a birthday today or this week. Oh! So let us sing happy birthday to Vicky, the love of my life. Happy birthday. Thank you so much for being here today. Please stand, join hands across the aisle, and we're going to sing the peace song.
And welcome visitors.
And do you have the music? All right, and, okay. So thank you so much for being here today. Hopefully we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.